Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for TWiT Live at CES is provided by Cachefly at CACHEFLY.com. This is TWiT Special number 57, the Consumer Electronics Show, Las Vegas 2011. TWiT's live coverage of CES is brought to you by Ford and voice-activated sync, featuring true hands-free calling, turn-by-turn directions, 911 assist, and more. Available exclusively on Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles.
Brian Brushwood.
Tom Merritt.
We are here at the Central Hall of the Consumer Electronics Show, where we're going to show you every single product, right? Every single product in the hall.
I believe we're going to plow through all 2,700 exhibitors right now.
Yeah. No, that's probably not going to happen. But we are going to try to hit some of the high points, including a little 3D, a little wireless charging, and some augmented reality. Come follow us.
Can we tease
one
special technology that I'll bet you'll never expect to see on this network?
This is the Motorola Bionic. It's a Droid Bionic. It's the new Droid. Feels a little bit like a Droid 2, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know what? I guess this was announced today, and the first thought that we had when I described the specs to you, you thought I was confused. You said you're describing the Atrix. What I said is dual-core, 1 gigahertz processor, 512 RAM. But there's a number of differences. And
yeah, there's an 8-megapixel camera. Which one has the 8 and which one has the 5? This has the 8, yeah. By the way, this is art from Motorola.
1 gig has 1 gig. This is 512 RAM.
Okay.
Atrix has 1 gig.
Okay, gotcha.
Right,
so that's another difference as well. And we know that the form factor is slightly different as well between the two of them.
Yes.
And you mentioned that there's a number of network differences as well, correct?
Yeah, this is on Verizon's 4G LTE network. Here, the Atrix is launching on AT&T here in the U.S. So different network clearly there, and this is a 4.3-inch QHD display out here on the device with a front-facing camera for webcamming and for video conferencing on the device. It has an additional 3D processor on the device for graphics and providing graphic stuff. But on the side over here is an HDMI port, and actually you can connect this to an HD TV, and it'll actually up-rev any of the content regardless of its rendering up to 1080p on the device.
What's the graphics processor?
It's an NVIDIA graphics processor.
Which one?
Well, this uses the Integra 2.
Integra 2, okay.
And this also records video in 720p as well. And actually, if you look behind us, next to the large TV, there's actually a smaller looking Droid Bionic. It's actually being powered using that, what we call mirror mode, where you connect this device to the TV back there. So it's actually a smaller...
That's actually exactly what I was going to ask, is obviously for video playback, you'll be able to use the HDMI out, but if you're mirroring, does that mean you could do things like play video games? For example, we got this Dungeon Defenders on there.
The only time that would be different is there is the opportunity for developers who do not have the rights to display content on a TV, they could turn it off. But essentially, if you recorded a picture of your kids walking or something like that, or at the park or something, and you wanted to show it at Thanksgiving, you can actually connect it and play it out over the HDMI yourself.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'd imagine there's got to be all kinds of awesome slideshow programs to make a presentation.
Stuff. And then, if you're at a meeting and you've got a PowerPoint presentation, you can show it out that way too. You can edit and do all that stuff on here.
Did you guys already announce pricing and availability on this?
It's a Q2, early Q2 availability has been announced, but pricing has not been announced.
Awesome.
Thank you, Art. It's good to talk to you again.
Nice to talk to you again.
Of course, this is similar. It's they describe it as a sister product to the Atrix. The difference, the Atrix has the WebTop software in it. If you haven't heard about that, that allows the Atrix to be docked in what looks like a little laptop form factor.
And
keyboard
one detail we
monitor.
were able to get out of Art is that this is not a hardware-based thing. There's no inherent hardware lock on it.
So the Bionic doesn't have WebTop in it right now, but there's nothing preventing it from coming to other Android phones. He wouldn't even say it would come to Bionic.
That's pure speculation on our part.
But the fact is there's no technical limitation for other phones being used with WebTop. Right now, Atrix is what they're focusing on.
Yeah, and that's the Bionic.
Let's keep going. All right, we have arrived at the Toshiba booth where they have 3D TV, which you've heard about 3D TVs, but this one doesn't require the glasses. So take off your glasses.
You know what?
Oh wait, no, you still need those.
See
But you don't need
anything.
you don't need the
3D
special
ever.
3D glasses. Bruce, thank you for showing us the 65-inch. You've got 65-inch, 56-inch, and
well, at product launch, what we're looking to do is we're looking to target multiple screen sizes above 40-inch, still to be determined. But at the show this year, we're showing our 65-inch and 56-inch.
Now, is as far as glasses-free 3D, obviously this is an emerging space, but is 65 the largest screen out so far, or
The largest we're showing right now is 65-inch, correct?
And
is there a limit on the size?
As with anything with panel technology, there's always a cost-benefit analysis going to the larger screen sizes, and we're demonstrating 65 right now.
But there's not a technical limit to being able to do the glasses free.
I'm aware of.
Now, obviously, there's a lot of different forms of 3D. You've got active shutter, you've got passive, polarized, you've got glasses free. For those who don't know, in the briefest way, could you explain to us how the technology behind the glasses free works?
Well, if I could just do one quick little thing on it, what we're really excited about for 2011 is Toshiba is. We want to have a little something for everybody in 3D this year. We're going to have a line of family-friendly pricing, passive or natural 3D, so you can fill a room full of glasses for the price of one pair of active glasses.
Instead of the active shutter, we have to pay a little more for the glasses. These are cheaper glasses because there's no hardware inside.
Exactly. We'll have that'll be family-friendly pricing. You want to have the whole Super Bowl party, you'll be able to have our natural passive 3D. And then we're also going to be offering for the video file active shutter glasses, full 1080p HD in 3D, and then obviously we're going to have our glasses-free 3D, which is three TVs in one, because one of the things that helps make this possible is we're going to be introducing this with a 4K 2K panel, which is the only one out there. It's 4 times the resolution of a 1080p television set.
Wow.
So even in 2D, it's incredible 2D TV set. Secondly, we'll be able to take any 2D content that you have, and we're introducing our Vector 2D to 3D conversion, make 2D content 3D on the fly, glasses free.
That usually looks crappy in a movie. How's that going to work with regular TV?
We've got some incredible processing on there that's going to make sure that we're going to have the best experience with 2D to 3D conversion. But obviously the best experience the customer's going to have is with native 3D content, whether it be Blu-ray, satellite, or cable, whatever content that is. This will give you that 3D experience.
Now, one of the things at first you notice, especially with the 65-inch display, is that it looks different depending on where you're standing. There are specific sweet spots in order to watch. So describe for the situation where you would do this at home.
Absolutely. How it basically works in my 101 version is there's lenticular lenses inside the TV set. Within those lenticular lenses, an array of pixels. Some of those pixels are for your left eye, some are for the right eye. That lens system steers that out so that the left eye sees the right image, the right eye sees the right image, and it's going to be set up in areas throughout the room for you to see it and enjoy it.
And is there any word on pricing and availability?
What we're looking to target launch this set is our second half of our fiscal year, which ends in March of 2012. And as far as pricing goes, it's an aspirational product. It's going to be our flagship product.
Awesome.
So this will come with the passive and active shutter technology built into one? This is all just glasses free. And you've got separate TVs for the others.
Exactly. 3 different lineups. Exactly.
That's a good way to hedge your bets. Make sure you cover all the bases.
A little something for everybody.
It's like you got the Betamax and the VHS. And
exactly.
Who cares who wins? We got them both.
Exactly. We have something for everybody.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us about it. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey, I'm cashing your live
Oh,
chat.
great.
Oh, great. It's
What do
Becky
you guys
Worley.
think? We
You
talked
know,
about this a lot yesterday.
Yeah, I see
so-
what you're talking about with this, what you're calling the striation, where you see a
Yeah.
little bit of the
Yeah.
lenticular stuff. But it's definitely 3D, and so is it better than standard def? Yes. Is it as good as 1080p? No, not yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you what surprised me, because you look at it from the side, you're like, oh, this is what I expect. I see a little bit of ghosting of some of the images that I'm supposed to be seeing with one of the eyes in the other eyes. But when you step into the sweet spot, it's automatic. You instantly see through the television, and you're right. You do see that striation. It looks like it almost looks like a bit of interlacing, but it is immersive, and I was impressed. What about you?
Yeah, I think the bottom line is, if this were a kiosk and I was a business person trying to attract attention to my business, I would put this here. People would stop and they would pay attention to it. But would I put this in my home? No. I mean, I'm not ready to watch a movie on this the way it is now. It's eye candy. It shows where the technology is going, and when it's glasses free, I am psyched.
Now tell me this much. Obviously, you have all these competing emerging technologies, and we're seeing stuff evolve over time, and the race is getting faster and faster. Down the road, if they were able to, let's say, widen the sweet spots, or there's technologies that talk about tracking your eyes and adjusting on the fly with up to 4 viewers, would you be down for this type of glasses-free technology?
I'd pay big money for it.
Yeah.
Big money.
There you go.
I think so as well.
All right, we got some other people who want to take a look at this to decide for themselves, so let's get going. We got some more stuff to see. All right, we are now in another corner of the Toshiba booth.
Decided to take a little break. Just going to watch some TV.
Yeah, voice-activated television, and Eric here has been nice enough to show it to us. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for stopping by.
So how do I talk to your TV?
Well, a lot of people talk to the televisions, basically. A lot of people have voices in their heads as well, too, but that's not exactly how this works. This, as somebody just put a little while ago, is kind of like Toshiba's example of an advanced clapper, per se, because what happens is in order to activate the system, you actually clap a couple of times first, and then that will activate the microphone that's embedded in the, this is all a Skype prototype up here, camera and microphone combination. Now you will clap a couple of times, a little blue indicator light will come on that shows you the system has been activated, and then after you do that, you just give it basically a voice command. Now for demonstration purposes, because this is all prototype, we have various voice commands, like you can say a channel, and then the channel number, you can ask it to channel up, channel down, you can ask it to volume up, volume down, you can mute it, you can bring in an HDMI signal, ask for information as well too. So right now we're on channel 8, let's go to channel 13. Yeah? Clap a couple of times. There's your indicator light. Channel 13.
So it's interesting, the moment you clapped, it automatically muted, and I assume so that's going to clearly hear your voice.
Exactly, yeah. It cuts out the speaker so the speakers don't interfere with the voice command itself. And then of course if you want to mute it and just hold it at mute, you can give it a mute command. Mute.
And then it just stays muted.
It will stay mute until I just tell it to mute again, or if I ask it to volume up or various things like that. So let's unmute it. Mute.
This seems like a good replacement if you're somebody who constantly loses the remote control, where it's like, like where's the dang clap, clap.
Exactly.
Now my big question is, do you have to have an awesome, deep, rich, bassy radio voice in order for it to recognize as you do?
No, not at all. It works with everybody. We've already had some people come in. Matter of fact, if you guys some of you want to step off to the side, because of all the ambient noise in the convention right now, we're kind of staying close to the corners here to make sure that it reads okay. And you have to talk a little bit louder than you would normally in a living room situation. But anybody can come in and activate it because it's not voice recognition, it's word recognition. If one of you guys would like to step over to the side and try it, please do so. Or I'll step over there and you can just step right in here.
All right, go Tom.
Yeah,
let me see. Talk to Hal.
Okay, we're on channel 13 right now, so make sure you give it a nice solid couple of claps. Make sure you give it a louder command because of the ambient noise here and tell me what you're ready to do.
Channel up. Information. Information.
Oh, yeah. No, it's bringing it up.
It's still listening. Okay. He's a little quiet. I don't know where his audio went. Let's do one more. Channel 13. Very good.
Now, what level of integration with the TV is it? Is this an add-on that could work for any television, or is this just integrated with just this Toshiba?
This is integrated for Toshiba, for the Toshiba Net TV. Now, once again, this is all prototype. Now, the TVs themselves, of course, are going to be, shipping out later on this year as well, too. But the other gadgets, whiz bangs, whatever you like to call them, basically, that is something that's still in prototype stage, may be available sometime next year as a separate package, basically.
Well, appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for showing up.
Thank you.
All right, cheers.
We're here at the Toshiba booth checking out the Glasses Free 3D for the laptop, which is a little bit different. On the desktop or the large screen displays that we saw earlier, you had to stand in a very specific sweet spot in order to get the 3D effect. But on the laptop, they do something a little bit different. By default, the screen is in 2 dimensions, which is what you're seeing here. But when it detects a face in front of the web camera, it does something different. Now I'm going to take off my glasses because the glasses tend to throw it off. But when I put my face right in front of it, it's going to recognize my face, and then it's going to do some tracking based on my eyes, and it will adjust on the fly. Now that it's tracking, I can move my head to the left and the right, and it will actually adjust the 3D display in order to keep the 3D effect at all angles. Now, there are limitations. If you go outside, it will obviously not be able to track you. Some faces we noticed, for example, this laptop seems to actively dislike Tom Merritt. And there's also...
Here, let me try it again.
You're going to give it a try right now? All right, go for it.
All right. I'm going to sit right... I saw where your head was. I'm right here. I'm right here.
It hates your beard, bro. You'll notice you're still in 2D.
It went back to 2D.
Yeah, in fact, the moment it saw you coming, it went right into 2D.
I don't reflect in mirrors either, so that could be.
So it could be the problem.
Yeah.
Obviously, that this is something that's only going to get better and better as it gets refined. But as a proof of concept, I think is a really interesting idea, and this could be the future of how 3D works.
So did we get when they hope to have this in laptops? It's by the end of the year, right? Yeah, that's right. So hopefully you'll be able to see this showing up in Toshiba laptops by the end of the year. If you don't have my face, it'll probably work just fine for you.
And you know what? It could be because we're in a dark area here. You never know. There's all kinds of factors.
All right, on to the next booth. Okay, so we got more booths, we got more things to go to, but you know what? The whole reason we're actually here is because of Ford.
Yes, the makers of the fine Ford Sync.
Yeah, Ford voice-activated sync gives you the wireless ability to control your car. Not wireless, hands-free. Keep your hands on the wheel, eyes on the road. You drive safely. It's totally the way to go. And My Ford Touch allows you to touch the screen while you're driving as well. So you actually get the ability to talk to your car, tell it to skip songs, read text messages to you, send text messages, or you can switch seamlessly from the voice activation to the touch.
And not only that, but like when you're driving, you don't want to even take your eyes off the road. It'll actually read to you text messages that are coming in. It even understands a lot of shorthands like LOL, and you can respond without ever taking your hands off the wheel by using one of the several pre-written messages on your behalf.
So we invite you to stop by your Ford and Lincoln dealer and test drive a Ford today, or go online if you want to read more about it, syncmyridepodcast.com. And we thank Ford for their support of our coverage of CES 2011, as well as all of our tech news shows. All right, so we're now in the Power Mat booth, and we're talking to Scott. Yep. How's it going?
Great.
Thanks for letting me jump in the Chevy Volt here. So the Power Mat wireless charging is coming into the car.
The Power Mat is coming into all of GM's vehicles in 2011. And what's great about it is that now you can jump into your car, take your device, your Power Mat enabled device, and just drop it on the access point in between the two seats, and you will commence wireless charging. So it should, there you go. And the wireless charging just starts right up. And the same is true of the cup holders here. They've all been wirelessly enabled, so you can just drop your device in there and it's being charged. And the same is true of the back seat. So it's really exciting. It's a new innovation that you can expect to come standard in all GM models.
Standard, it's not optional.
Well, actually, you can expect to get it in all GM models, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, fantastic. And is there a price differential as an option that you can quote?
Those are things that we're still working out. We've just announced the deal, literally just yesterday. And so, more info TBD.
I like the idea that it's in the cup holder, though sometimes I might want to put a cup there because it seems more stable. That seems like it might slide around a little when you're driving. But I'm in San Francisco, so, up and down hills.
Right. Well, the thing about Power Mat is that it works by magnetic induction. So I don't know if you can feel it, but there is a magnet in here.
Right.
Okay, so when you put it down, you can try it. It actually is pretty stable in that there you go. It pulls it into the hot spot, and it doesn't really shake off all that easily. I mean, it's not hard to pick it up, but when you make a turn, you can expect that it won't go sliding.
Now, if you don't buy a GM car, or if you buy a GM car before this becomes standard, you do have car chargers as well.
We have car chargers we're showing. Really, our goal really is to make Power Mat as ubiquitous as the consumer needs it to be.
In fact, my co-host Brian Brushwood is at the airport a lot. He flies a lot. Do you have a solution for that?
Why don't we go check out the airport?
All right.
Hey, Brian.
That takes us to a scene that is all too familiar to any tech enthusiast. The airport, uncomfortable bench, and there's one thing that might make it a little bit better. Obviously, we've all done that stupid dance where you're going around looking for a place to charge, but the idea here is that they're going to build into airport stations the ability to just drop your device right there. Tell me a little bit about this.
Well, this is the other part of what we're doing, in that we're trying to make wireless power available to consumers in airport lounges and airport seating. And we've just announced a deal with a Canadian company called Arconis to build wireless technology into airport seating. So here is my BlackBerry, right? My trusty BlackBerry. Has no power on it. I place it down on the hotspot, charges right up.
And so it goes beyond, actually you're showing me some furniture as well. It seems like the goal right now is
The goal is utter saturation, right?
Yes, complete ubiquity. Just
That's
as when you go to McDonald's, you're not surprised that there's Wi-Fi hotspots.
That's right. It should be as available as cup holders in cars.
Well, before we wrap things up, let's take a quick look at some of the furniture over here as well.
Yeah, sure. The one thing we should point out to people is you do have to buy the power mat and attach it to your phone. How much does it cost normally?
The power mats themselves run in between from $39 all the way up to $129.
And that's for the phone attachment.
The phone attachments are between $29.99 and $49.99.
Okay, so the phone attachment's a little cheaper than buying the power mat.
Correct, right. But we have power mats that come in all different sizes and shapes. We have power mats that are single, double, and triple position. We have power mats that have a built-in lithium polymer battery, so that you don't have to, plug in the power mat at all. You can be charging in the middle of an airport or an open field, really. In addition to our airport solution, you can charge anywhere. We have power mats that are cutting edge and will give you the convenience and freedom that you need.
Yeah. What you need is you get a GM car, and then you fly a lot, and then you get your workplace to buy you one of these. So this is an office solution, right?
This is an office solution, and we are working with a company called Technion to build wirelessly enabled office furniture. So what you see here is just your typical office desk. Again, my trusty BlackBerry. I place it down on the hotspot, and it just charges right up.
And so one last thing, I always, in my mind, and it turns out perhaps that I was wrong, I always associated this as a lossy technology because of the efficiency of transferring power from the base station to the phone. But you mentioned it's a very green technology because it's smart enough to know when the battery is full.
That's exactly right. It's smart enough to determine what type of device you have, how much battery charging that device needs, and then once it reaches optimal charging capacity, to completely shut off.
Awesome.
Well, how soon would we be able to see something like this?
This will be on the market currently.
Okay. And how much do these run?
These are, David, how much do these run?
They're under $300.
Under $300, I'm told.
That's fantastic.
Thank you so much, Scott. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, cheers.
Thanks, Ian.
All right, maybe Darth Vader is over there.
We got to hustle.
So, we missed Darth Vader, but
actually,
we can confirm
that a guy in a Darth Vader costume did, in fact, confirm that Blu-ray.
No, it was Darth Vader.
It was a guy in a costume.
Wait, did you see him?
Well, it was a guy.
How do you know?
Darth Vader's not real.
How do you know?
Santa's not real.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
You know what I find disturbing is that Lucas has found another way to get us to spend more money on the original Star Wars saga.
So the Panasonic announcement was Star Wars on Blu-ray available through Amazon.
The complete saga for the first time ever. Pre-orders available right now on Amazon. I got to assume that these are going to be the special edition where they have, Greedo shooting first and all the other travesties that broke my childhood.
The reason we missed the actual announcement, though, is because Brian was getting loot.
That's not true. I was accosted, and it is true. That's your loot. That's your bag of loot.
Officer.
My bag of loot is in a completely different bag.
Whatever.
But in this case, I got to tell you, this is a bit of a disappointing announcement for me because it's just one more retread of something that we've seen before.
Mostly we just missed Darth Vader, who is real.
We missed a guy in a Darth Vader costume. And you're right, that guy in the costume, the guy was real, the costume was real, and maybe in your heart the magic was real. But the announcement was real.
You're ruining Christmas.
You want to know what's real? That loot is real. That is
right.
Real hard loot that you can touch.
On for more loot.
We're here at the Vuzix Corporation with a technology that I think is going to be very, very huge. I think we're seeing the beginning of something that will be ubiquitous and will be all over the place 50 years from now.
Well, it's a William Gibson novel come to life.
It really is.
Exactly. This is augmented reality in action here. So the idea is Vuzix makes these glasses. They've got a couple of LCD projectors here. And when you look at the target where they have built it, and the idea here is I think it's sort of an outdoor situation, you can see the actual image of something. In this case, we got a boat going down. And you can see up on the screen what you're seeing through the glasses, but it's much better to look through the glasses. It looks a 3D because you got the stereoscopic image of your eyes working for you. There's a little bit of drift when you move it up and down, I've noticed, but mostly the image stays in place. It looks like you're looking at something that's actually there.
Yeah, and it should be pointed out that in this case they only have the one sensor, or I guess the one image there to lock it into. If they had, for example, in a house, they could have these all over the walls and up in the ceiling. And in the demo you're about to see, the doors are going to open up, a rocket ship's going to take off, and it's going to leave our field of view. If we had more of these, I keep wanting to call them sensors, but they're just pegs basically.
Marks, yeah.
Yeah. If there were more of these pegs for it to lock in the location, you would be able to track it all the way up. And it works very well in this limited demo. Down the road, though, I think we're going to see a time where we're able to involve things like facial recognition technology, where it's able to recognize who we're talking to and perhaps even enhance the features of people that we're talking to. You can make everyone else prettier down the road.
Now, Charlotte from Vuzix, I wanted to ask you, what's the plan for this technology? Where are you going with it?
Well, you know, I'm going to let Paul Travers, who's the CEO of the company, talk to you about it. But
even better.
You know, I'll give you a little bit of a preview. What we're thinking is that initially research institutions are using this, and they're developing applications for all sorts of things that you would not even imagine. Ultimately, I think the gaming community is going to grab a hold of this, and they're going to use this as a platform for, you know, new games and ideas around new games and greater interactivity. So the media industry and entertainment industry in general, I think, will grab a hold of it in the not too distant future.
One of the ideas I heard mentioned briefly was the idea is that new homeowners could walk into a brand new home and they could see possible configurations with their furniture and everything else. But yeah, let's definitely, we'll talk to Paul and learn more about this. CEO of Vuzix Corporation.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Brian Brushwood.
Hey, Paul,
this is
I'm
Tom Merritt.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So tell us a little bit about the short-term game plan and what you'd like to see 5, 10, 20 years from now.
Okay, so these guys you see over here, they're RAP 920s. They're our first entry into the augmented reality marketplace. Not like a phone, you know, where you kind of hold it up and
The sort of, I could see it if I put my phone down, but I'll keep it here for now. Yeah, we're not that kind of augmented reality.
This is, you put the glasses on, and literally there's stuff in the real world that's kind of mixed with the computer-generated world. So you can imagine if you're in a maintenance environment and you're trying to repair engines, let's say, and you got the glasses on, and it's telling you how to do that and kind of helping you through the process.
Brilliant.
These guys are a little bit pricey for the consumer marketplace. They're $1,000, which, quite frankly, there's lots of people who would love to shoot bad guys in their living room for $1,000. Right. So these guys work on the PC, they work on an Xbox with VGA and USB kinds of connectivity and the like. And you can see they're 3D, and it actually looks like something's in the living room with you. Today it uses tracking technology that's looking at this marker, but that's just software. There's all kinds of technology out there to make it so you can map the whole room and step inside the environment.
And what's in the glasses that's doing the tracking? What's doing the hard work of this?
So if you see this gentleman here, he's got the glasses on. There's a pair of cameras in the front of those guys. That's looking out into space. There's software that Vuzix wrote that's running on a laptop underneath here. That software's feeding in the camera feeds, stereo, left and right eyes. It's looking at that marker right there, and it says, oh, the marker is 6 or 8 feet away, it's at this angle, and then it generates computer information on top of the marker over the real world.
So it doesn't have like a motion sensor inside. It's doing it entirely based on the stereoscopic vision?
These guys have motion sensors built into them also.
They do.
Yeah,
okay.
This package, this system comes with 9 sensors. It's got accelerometers, gyros, and magnetic field sensors also. And it's got the cameras built into it. I think there's a microphone option for it. You can plug it into your iPhone if you want to, although there's no, unfortunately, video inputs on an iPhone. So
right, not easily.
Yeah. So
not without a little hacking.
Well, I'll tell you, like seeing this, and already this is exciting, but I have the sense, and I would imagine you do as well, that this is only the beginning, that down the road we're going to see amazing, amazing advances.
Well, right. In fact, if you notice, Vuzix won a CES award for the pair that are see-through. And so the idea there is, ultimately, you're walking down the street with sunglasses on. You got your sunglasses on, it's tied to your phone. You ask your phone, you know, where's the nearest ATM? You look down on the road in front of you, like the Fidelity blue line, it goes out, or green line, or whichever color that thing was.
Do you know the Daniel Suarez book, Demon?
I don't, unfortunately.
You need to read that, because you're essentially helping make that post-apocalyptic dream come true here.
How does it feel?
The demon takes over the world, and his minions all wear augmented reality glasses, and they can see signs over each other's heads of what level in the organization they are. They can see secret entrances and all that, and it's exactly this kind of technology that he's writing about.
Nixing the post-apocalyptic portion of all of that, that vision is a really good one, and you can do an awful lot with that. From, you know, you walk in the cocktail party and you remember Jim's name or Frank's name, right on through to fixing aircraft engines, to hiring an avatar to give you a tour of the city. You name it. Visual search.
That just gave me a horrible image of Clippy. So Microsoft, please don't do that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Paul. This is very exciting technology.
Paul, it's great to meet you. I really like this. It looks great.
We appreciate that.
Thank you. All right, on to the next thing.
And we're out.
Okay, we're actually here at the RCA booth, and what a lot of people don't realize, there's a ton of high tech here. There's a ton of computers and phones, but there's also just appliances. This is the place where people stock their electronics for stores all the way through the year. So you're going to see a wall of microwaves, the brand new microwaves from RCA. What do you think, Brian?
Well, tell me a little bit about this. When we got, obviously we have a black box. It's going for a minimalist aesthetic, but beyond that, take me into the functionality.
Well, it's a microwave. So you put your food in it, and then you program it, and it cooks your food.
So it's got like a push button open, and it's got a touchscreen display. So is it connected to the internet in some way?
Well, I mean, I don't work for RCA, but no, I don't think. I think it just cooks your food.
But it's got what I'd really like to know about is the social media integration. Does it let other people know about your food? Does it tweet when your food's ready?
I don't think it does. I think, Brian, I think it's just a microwave. I think it just cooks your food.
But it's in 3D though, right?
Well, the food would be in 3D when you put it in the microwave to be cooked. Because it cooks your food.
This is a revolutionary idea. It just cooks my food.
Yeah, I think all of these, that's what they do. I mean, the point was just to show the...
well, wonders never cease.
The
you saw it here first at CES, people.
All right.
Cooks your food.
Thanks. I'm tired.
I thought it went rather quickly.
Yeah.
Newsflash, shocker, bet you never expect it. 3D, popular at CES. Who would have thought?
Actually, I'm a little surprised at how much they're pushing it, considering how badly it did last year. But they are not giving up. 3D is the thing.
It's not just the screens. I mean, 3D laptops, 3D surround sound.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you didn't like 3D in the TV? How about in the laptop? How about 3D audio?
Maybe you just didn't have enough.
How about
these
these 3D microwaves?
That's I got to be honest. I didn't want to come in with preconceived notions, but I'm getting seriously annoyed at the push of 3D. I think we were talking earlier, and I'm sure we'll discuss this again later, but it's like 3D is around.
Angry.
It's gonna take a long time till 3D matters. It's gonna take a revolution, the way the jump from Laserdisc to DVD, in order to make 3D work for me.
Yeah, I think HD is about where it was, I don't know, 98, 99.
Yes.
It's there. You can do it. It's expensive. It's not satisfactory. So, I think we saw some cool stuff, though. The CES coverage continues right here on TWiT, though. Find it at live.twit.tv or in your podcast feed at CES Specials, twit.tv/specials.
And buy a microwave, for goodness sake. Apparently, it cooks your food.
That's
all it does.
That's what it does.
It's pretty good.
On the stage once again. Now, this is kind of a different side of the stage. You don't usually see this. We're behind the stage with Philip Nelson of NewTek, and this is kind of the satellite truck that we don't have. It's the brand new TriCaster 850. And we're big TriCaster fans. That's what we use in the studio. Now, Philip, are you having fun?
I am having a terrific time, and it's exciting to see the TriCaster in action at the TWiT booth here at CES.
Well, when you guys came to the cottage and you showed us the 850, basically all I could say is, I want that.
Yeah, you can say I have that.
This is so awesome. Well, we have it for the show. I don't know if you can get under here, Brent, and see all the gear. So, Philip, where is the TriCaster?
Well, the TriCaster is this. The TriCaster XD850 is actually this new rack mount chassis, because now it allows you to have 8 high-definition live inputs.
That's one thing we really needed. We have 6 on our TriCaster broadcast, but we needed more.
You pushed the limit on number of cameras used in a studio, so we had to give you 2 extra bonus inputs.
And by the way, we're using all 8 here at CES.
Wow. And then up here is the interface of the TriCaster, and you can see this is what's going out live to the air right now on your side.
Brian Brushwood is out there with Tom Merritt in the field.
And this is what's coming up, and then we can have graphics, and we can have roll-ins, and all the things you would see in a live television show can be done out of that one device. And as you mentioned, the TriCaster replaces $1 million live truck with, this is the top-of-the-line system, and it's about a $25,000 system.
The TriCaster has powered TWiT since day one of TWiT Live. It's how I'm able to switch. It's how I'm able to have multiple cameras, the lower thirds and everything. And you know, it's 4 or 5 years old now. We've been using it. This is kind of a revolution in the TriCaster. You wrote this from scratch, rewrote from scratch.
Yes, this is a brand new form factor, brand new chassis, and it's
running on Windows 7.
Yes. So you know,
it was on XP.
You were there at the beginning, man. You've been there through the evolution of TriCaster. But you know
how much of the code is? I met the guy. What's his name?
Dr. Andrew.
I met Dr. Cross. Awesome dude. How much of this is the old toaster, the old Amiga stuff, or is it all new now?
None of it's old. It's all brand new code, brand new.
Even the hardware and the cards.
Software, all the architecture is from the mind of Dr. Andrew Cross.
What was his first product, the toaster?
No, Andrew's first product actually was...
Play?
Well, no, he came straight to NewTek from England. A 26-year-old genius that we stole from Europe and brought him over, and he really revolutionized development at NewTek.
You kind of have to be a mad genius to do this because you're using essentially stock computer equipment, PCs, to do things that, I mean, you've got 3 streams running at once. You've got motion graphics. You've got all sorts of stuff going on in this.
A lot of dirty tricks in that box.
How much hardware support is it?
Well, the TriCaster's really is treated as an appliance. So it's a box that you buy, you plug in your cameras, plug in your computer monitor.
You do have a VT5, which you can build your own and add your own cards. No more?
No more. That's gone.
This is the TriCaster.
Future. This is the future right here.
We tried the VT5, and the truth is, this is a better idea because it's all integrated, it's all tested together, and it works well together.
You know, the key is if you're doing a live show, you need confidence that there are no variables that will cause you problems, and that's why going to a turnkey portable live production system is a good thing.
We have a crisis. We have a crisis. The video has stopped. Philip, can you switch us to the next video? Now Philip jumps into action. I don't know. I think there.
The tape. Yeah, we're live. Well, there was the tape. I think ended.
Yeah, the tape ended. So you're live now, by the way. We just switched live. Welcome to CES. This is what's really cool about this is, and you know, I operate this all by myself in the studio, but we are moving to a new studio with 10,000 square feet, and the truth is, we're going to have a director and all of that, and this is going to allow us to grow that way.
You know, that's the idea is with TriCaster, you can start out as a one-man rogue television producer, producing it yourself.
Like me.
So that if you want to go to a team, you know, like at the ESPN X Games in Aspen that we're doing this month, they're going to have a team of 3 for every TriCaster system. They have a TriCaster operator, a replay operator, and a graphics operator.
So it's really like a real TV operation at this point.
Yeah, you can be, but the cool thing is it's scalable. So you can start out, and like you've done for years, you're the master of self-directing.
I do it all.
It's ridiculous. You know, you're like, it's like a
monkey. Oh, okay.
Conductor. I'm something more.
A monkey.
A monkey. You say monkey, I say conductor.
I use all 4 limbs and a tail.
You even have foot pedals down here.
You know, someday, if you ever want to do foot pedals on the TriCaster, I'd love to talk to you about that.
All right, I think that's our new secret.
One-man band.
Yeah, but you know, the exciting thing...
We are scaling, and that's the real point, is that we need to go to the next level, and I think getting the 850 is going to make a huge difference for us.
Well, you know, one of the things, as you've been walking around the show floor, you've probably seen this, but all the TVs are starting to have streaming content embedded into the television, and that's really what TriCaster is empowering, is this live internet television revolution. You know, like one of my favorite web clips, I think it's one of the greatest viral clips, is you when that ball exploded. I can't imagine how many hits you guys have off that.
Oh, millions, yeah.
But that's why people like live TV, because you never know what's going to happen. You know, if it's an edited show, they edit out anything weird.
I love live.
But live is compelling. That's when you see the wardrobe malfunctions, people making weird things happen.
Scott Bourne, how you doing, Scott? Good to see you. Photofocus.com. It's good to see him. Scott looking good in a suit, too. You know Scott, right?
I don't think we met. Hi, Scott.
Scott with the Mac Break for many moons with Mac Break Weekly. 150 episodes. When are we going to get you back on? Sometime soon. He's local now. He moved out here to Henderson. We're just taking a look at the new what is it, the HD?
It's the TriCaster XD850.
And it is HD capable.
It's HD and standard def, so you can mix and match high def and standard def.
Who uses this?
Well, it's being used by the NBA, the NHL,
Not for like their actual broadcast.
Well, the cool thing is now that it's HD and 8 channels, the NBA this summer, when they did the Summer League games, it was actually created and broadcast live to NBA TV off of a TriCaster. The WNBA last year deployed TriCasters, and so what they were doing, because it can do 3 things at once, it can go out live to broadcast, to web, and to digital signage. The WNBA would take the TriCaster show, run it on local television if they had a television contract, stream it live to WNBA.com, and then also archive the show so they can cut highlights of these games. So it really is changing the television industry because it's allowing shows to get created that you aren't going to roll in $1 million truck for, and it's allowing people to do more with it.
Look what we're doing.
Less. Yeah.
This was $1 million production when Tech TV did it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we're going to get out of the way because they're about to do a TV show.
All right, let's check it out. I think TNT is coming up.
You want to say that to the camera? TNT is coming up.
All right, TNT is coming up live from CES 2010.
That's Philip Nelson, NEWTEK.com, the XD850. I'm really excited to play with this today. That's great. Thank you, Phil.